We have to keep what we have. We have to.
The unofficial results are in for Muskegon Township after last week's election. But as is often the case in an off-year election in May,
our voter turnout was very small.
And with one key ballot question being voted down, it's left leaders in this community deciding what to do next.
The detectives are needed. The extra fire staff are needed. They're needed for employee safety. They're needed for resident safety. They're needed for victim services and so forth.
The question had asked whether voters would nearly double their expiring public safety millage, the proposal failing by just over 100 votes.
The biggest thing is, why do you need more taxes? And that initial ask of why we're increasing, why do we need more?
Captain Brad Walters heads the local firefighters union in the township and had spent time knocking doors ahead of the election.
The biggest continuous theme I heard leading up to it was there wasn't enough good information put out early on, and everybody had voted via absentee already.
He had been hoping to put into perspective for voters what it was he felt their local public safety services needed, and how the changing times contributed to a higher ask.
A fire engine that we purchased in 2019 cost a little over $500,000. To buy that same fire truck right now, we're looking at over $1 million. So when the public asks why we need to ask for money, well, unfortunately, the cost of doing business is skyrocketing right now in the public safety field.
The Board of Trustees considering several options in the wake of the vote, including putting the same proposal on the next ballot or splitting roughly the same millage amount into two separate ballot questions.
So that's why we had to do this with a little bit of urgency, because you have to have it to them by May 15th so that it can be on the August ballot.
Following a legal review, the board voted to place two asks on the August ballot. One would ask voters whether to renew the millage rate up to what had already been in place, and the second would be for an increase that would bring the total to roughly what was asked for last week.
We're gonna be back out there educating our citizens why this is so critical for them, for our department, and for the community as a whole.